Glad to be here. Saturday session, Saturday streams. Blink and miss it rapidly, sibling. I say rapidly. We're approaching the end, Gregorian year of 2024. It's gone hella quick, boss. Trustfully, the listeners and the siblings them have been able to fulfill the dreams, wishes, and aspirations. If not, they're getting real close to that there. You know, we're moving into the Gregorian year of 2025. Beautiful time. It's also a very, very interesting time. Geo-social, political. The shame / lamestream media pushing the narratives, which we're gonna get into. You know, putting a highlight and the spotlight on the original man for being certain things and all those things. It's hella. But living is wonderful. Living is beautiful. We gotta take the good with the bad. More time it's the good, not much of the bad. Only when we turn on the damn news or we pick up our mobile pocket and are exposed to social medias, and then we see the woes of the world. But generally, everything is everything.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Now, people, in this world of chaos, yeah, we are here to bring a balanced conversation, very balanced, because common sense isn't so common nowadays, and people ain't seeing the games being played, The game is being executed right now as we speak. And the facts are that most of us don't know the game that's being played. And we don't know that these games that are being played, these internet games and this funny world we're living in, you don't understand that by supporting this type of foolishness, yeah, you are helping to usher in that same mindset for tomorrow's world. That's what you have to remember. You're helping to usher in the nonsense for tomorrow's world. So, what you saying, but should we get straight in, or what we doing? We going straight in, or what you saying?
Right, let's go, boss. We got we got to get to the roots. We got some digging to do first. But yeah, man, let's get straight into it.
Most definitely. Okay, so let's start from here, yeah? Let's start from here. When it comes to rap, yeah? New age rap, I'm the wrong man. Especially USA rap. I'm the wrong man to really break anything down. I mean, I dropped off probably about 2015 in terms of, that's when I looked and said, rap is trash now. It's trash. I don't keep up with the new artists. I don't keep up with what's going on like that. And there's good reason for that. Now, I say that to say this. When it comes to that late 90s, early 2000s New York,
come on,
that's when I fell in love with hip hop. That's what made me fall in love with hip hop, that era. And who was one of the leading individuals in that era? It was Jay-Z. And, I was one of the people that I followed his career. He had certain songs. The early Jay-Z, I'm talking about 90s Jay-Z, he had a few songs and a few hits. And, some people liked him, some people didn't. But I was into New York, and Jay-Z is actually a spitter. Now, I remember real clearly when he broke up the Rockefeller Records group. I remember it real well. Them times was the DVD era. And Damon Dash, which is his right-hand man, was a cakeaholic, and that's what he called it, a cakeaholic, which means like you're someone who's making a lot of money. And he used to shout at people and throw tantrums and all of that. And there was a lot of things that he used to do. And I remember when the whole breakup happened and Jay-Z went his way and Damon Dash went his way. Now, after that, Jay-Z had turned into this like a mogul. From that point, the rapper Jay-Z was just like verses here, verses there. But he weren't really the same Jay-Z from the 90s. He started going into more business and things of that nature. Now, he marries Beyonce. We know all the rest. It goes on. Now, these accusations that came out the other day, yeah, I read the story and I said to myself, this story doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm not saying that he hasn't done things that he should be on trial for, because I don't know. I don't know that about you who's watching this. But I knew to myself, that story doesn't make sense. So for those of you who haven't heard the story, what the story is that a 13-year-old girl was driven 5 hours
Mom.
Come on. Let's go.
13-year-old girl, VMA Awards 2000.
2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was wandering around and bumped in some kind of limo driver. She was trying to get access in. This is all alleged based upon the civil proceedings kind of thing, however it's been laid out. I need to get access into this thing. Strange enough, this adult who has a job, who drives around celebrities, says, okay, you may not look 13. Okay, that's not a problem at all. You can't get in here. But what I will is there is an after party, and I can potentially arrange access to get into this after party. Please continue, sibling.
So she gets to this after party, yeah, after driving 5 hours with a friend, meets the limo driver who says, "You're what Puff Daddy likes," like a young girl, ends up in the VMAs after party where she was allegedly assaulted and then attacked one of the guys or two of the guys and then escaped the building after being drugged. Then her father picked her up and drove 5 hours back home. They didn't report it to the police. They didn't report anything. Waited 24 years and now it's coming out. So what this show is called is, has hip hop become the face of heinous acts? Now, what I mean by that is, when these allegations came on the internet, Noble, if you went into the comment sections, people were excited, happy. There were comments like, finally they got him. There were comments like, I knew this day would come. There were loads of comments, and I remember saying to myself, damn, we're at a place now where you're saying that this man is a paedophile. You're saying that the man raped a 13-year-old girl. When you make a claim like that, yeah, when a claim like that is made, we have to know that that has truth to it before actually finding a person guilty.
Come on.
Now, I don't know if you've watched this, Noble, but the alleged victim came out yesterday on an interview.
The Empress told me about it. I haven't actually watched it.
Okay, I've watched it. The father came out, said he don't remember driving 5 hours. Yes, the father of the person came out and said he don't remember. She also said that there are many things that she made mistakes with in the story. And now the case is looking though, Jay-Z will be cleared because there was nothing there to suggest that there was facts in what was being alleged. So
let me before you continue on, let me just add something. Let me add some additional information. Just to rewind a bit, I fell off rap hip hop a little bit earlier than you. I would say 2012. Now, the Jay-Z Reasonable, what was his first album that he came out? Was it Reasonable Doubt?
Reasonable Doubt.
Okay. So, as you said, man was doing his thing, known as a spitter. I knew him with Jaz-O, yeah? And before I knew with Jaz-O, he was, and this is after the fact, so I had to do rewind and see where his lineage was from. He was in a group called Original Favor, sibling. That came out in like 92, 93, possibly 94 at the very latest. Very, very, very latest. He was connected to Dr. Malachi York. He was a Nawabian sibling. Dr. Malachi Z. York, the Brunswick projects they was up there running, the Marcy projects and all that, he was under that tutelage, African Bambaataa. Yeah, so there is a precedent of sorts in regards to the people who he hangs around with, who have, I mean,
but explain to the people about Malachi York, because enough man won't know. But I didn't even know that.
Okay, so Dr. Malachi York is currently facing 135 years in prison for, some people will deny it, other people, it's clear and simple, transporting and trafficking minors for use for, wrong activities. Yeah, multiple. We've got
Polite is also a student of Malachi York, and you know what he was locked up for too.
Yes, African Bambaataa was on his record label, was under the whole Nawabian flipping. I can't remember. There was another name that they used to go by when there was more sort of Islamic Sufi Sunni Muslim kind of vibe. But ultimately, we're seeing him as a youngster getting this so-called knowledge of self, yeah, but under this Dr. York Malachi sort of regime where all kind of stuff was going on. Not just the fact that little boys and little girls People were getting extorted. There were physical torture things going on. There was all kind of madness. So again, we've got to build the picture and see where Gay-Z, as I call it, came from. Yeah, Spitter, as I said, I cannot deny the talent that he has. I never checked for him. Never checked for him. I Miss You, Aaliyah tribute. That's the only track I got of Gay-Z. Fast forward to where we're there now and what we're talking about. It's very, very disheartening, man. Very disheartening. And sorry, before I even go back to the present tense, Aaliyah, I Miss You. Remember that? Rise in Paradise, Aaliyah.
Yeah, the song, I Miss You.
The song. Yep. With everyone in there, Missy Elliott, everybody doing a damn thing. Before she died, sibling. Now you may be able to correct me on this, but from my recollection, there was a triune, wasn't there? Aaliyah was in the middle. We had I'll Piss It On Your Belly, R. Kelly, who married her illegally in Vegas at the age of what? How old is she? 14?
14, yeah.
Wasn't Jay-Z had some relations with her at some point?
They allegedly had relations when she was of age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but okay, of age now, doing the math and all that, Jay-Z's older than me. Yeah.
55.
Come on, right? Much older than me in that respect, right? Aaliyah, if she's still alive now, she's much younger than me. There was an age difference at that point. So the clouds are already there, so I can understand the sentiment of people saying, finally, yo, and let's not forget.
But we can't skate over that though, because there's an age gap, yes, there is. But was it illegal? Like if we're gonna frame this as morally wrong, then we gotta go into morally wrong. But the facts are that since the beginning of time, I don't agree with it, but older men get with younger women. So in one breath, we watch Hugh Hefner when we were growing up, who had a mansion full of women that could have been his granddaughter. Yeah, there was no problem there. We've been seeing all these billionaire football club owners, billionaire American football, are any of their wives their age? So I'm saying the same way how we saying, okay, it's wrong for him to do that. I wouldn't do it again, but them guys are doing the same thing. Why is it that, he's, all these other men can have a young thing, a young 20, sometimes 20 years younger, sometimes 30 years younger. No one bats an eyelid. No one bats an eyelid. Jay-Z does it again. I have to say this because people think that like I love Jay-Z also. I don't get it. But what's the difference? What they're doing, like I said, is they are putting the face of heinous acts onto hip-hop entertainers. Now, let me explain this now. I've watched a lot of documentaries. One thing about a pedophile is this, a pedophile doesn't abuse a person once. Pedophilia is a sickness, If you can lie down with a 13-year-old girl, yeah, you are a sick individual, and that means you're attracted and aroused by a minor. So you know what that means? That you will do that again, and do that again, and do that again. A man who's in Jay-Z's position would have struggled between then and now to keep, especially since 2015, which marked the start of the Me Too era, when all these men were being called out. That would have been something very, very difficult to keep out of the public eye. Now, I'm not saying that he hasn't done it, but I'm saying that let's isolate Aaliyah, let's isolate Beyonce, Jay-Z and Puffy. When I was growing up, them man were rivals. It's only since all that Black Excellence stuff and that you seen them actually together. Before, Jay was kind of almost jealous of Puff Daddy. I tell you straight, until he become a mogul. Listen to the Flavor in Your Ear freestyle. Flavor in Your Ear freestyle from Jay. That's a Puff Daddy diss, There weren't brethrens like people are framing it.
I didn't even know that there was a...
I'm showing you how much I was into this.
See.
This is what I'm saying. Remember, you had Bad Boy in New York, and you had Rockefeller. Them were the two head honchos in New York.
Yes.
And they were all...
And then Murder Inc. slowly running on the third place.
Murder Inc. came up, but it was Jay-Z and Diddy, because Diddy had Biggie, Mace, Shine, The Lox, all the list goes on. Jay-Z had Memphis Bleak, Beanie Siegel, State Property, the list goes on. Diddy produced more hit songs at the time. So Jay-Z was always rivaling him. There was always a rival. It was only once Jay-Z become this mogul that you actually seen them together. So when people are he must have knew what was going on. How? And even if I know a man and he's doing them things and I don't know, how can you find me guilty by association? What we've got to start doing, we're too fast, to jump on what the mainstream are feeding us. Now we can play these things. We're on stream. We can listen to what the woman's saying. The fact the mainstream picked this up is crazy, because when you listen to her actually speak, if you've got common sense, it doesn't make sense. But people are so insistent on this man being like some sort of sicko, some sort of person who commits heinous acts, that even when the story don't make sense, they say, oh, he's paid them. Even though he himself said, I'm not paying them nothing. And also, I want to know who's the person who's accusing me. But yeah, he's paid. There's too much people that, I'm going to say it as it is, people don't like to see others in a position of success. A lot of people hate them. A lot of people hate Jay-Z and Beyonce. A lot of people just hate them. And I'm saying to myself, like, one girl that I know messaged me, she's like, yo, yeah, my man's the devil, A, B, or C. And I'm like, how do you know that? Like, what is it that you know to say that about someone? And she couldn't answer me. The video she sent me was all propaganda. There was nothing concrete. Oh, he done this to Rihanna. But if Rihanna don't testify, then it didn't happen. So that means that I can just say, I don't even like verbalizing these things, even as an example, but a man can just say, yo, that man over there touched the youth.
Yeah.
Now he's guilty. Like, what if he didn't? What if he didn't do it? Like, we've got to understand that the witch hunt is not the way forward. Let these things play out. This is someone who 24 years ago at 13, they didn't report it. They didn't say anything. And even now, they're just on they want money. Like, when you're a 13-year-old who was drugged and raped, that would have been one of the most traumatic experiences that she's probably went through in her life. You would remember.
Well, Mark, you would remember elements. You would remember the situation. Okay, let's look at it in multiple different ways. Depending on the level of trauma, the brain can do some very interesting things to protect your mind from going crazy. Okay, scenario A, that happens to a 13-year-old child. She's never the same after. She turns into the prototypical, she was sexually abused, and then what happens? She turns to drugs and she becomes a prostitute. That's A. B, that same traumatic event happens to that 13-year-old girl, and she seeks help straight away and goes through counseling and goes and tries to seek justice for the heinous act which was perpetrated against her. Then you got to see, again, the brain, the mind is doing some things with all of the A, B, and C. It's trying to protect that person from the trauma that's happened. Now, sometimes it will lock that whole event away, because if you revisit that, it's more pain, it's more trauma, and it's going to lead you to a place where you can turn to drugs, you can turn to self-harming, you can go to the most extreme, So it's not as cut and dry. Come on, that's as we know. Sexual abuse is the worst. Especially from, not even especially, male or female. Because if a man he gets raped, it's no different to a woman getting raped. Someone physically taking something from you by force or by drugs, that's horrible, man.
100%.
How do you cope with that? As a man, how would you cope with the fact that you went out, something, someone slipped? I mean, it's devilish, man, slipping Mickeys in people's drink, and then you wake up and your rear end's crazy. You wouldn't want to tell nobody.
That is true, but we're at a time where you was in a room. Think about how the media's promoting this. They're saying, hear me out now. She went into a room. Jay-Z was in there, Diddy was in there, and Celebrity B, which is meant to be a girl. So why is that woman's name not being mentioned? Why? People are not seeing this, man. What they're doing is conditioning us. The next few years, they're going to condition us by constantly putting allegation. There'll be someone else. They'll find somebody else early next year, and they'll slap him with, yo, he did this, he did that, he did this. to get our mind used to.
Yeah.
Last year was Diddy convicted of anything to do with pedophilia? Go last year and find anything to do with pedophilia on Diddy. Not one thing. It was this year when I believe they realized, yo, there's not really nothing that's going to stick, you know, in regard to the Tupac killing and all the stuff that was heavily promoted.
Yes.
So here what? Let's go to plan B. And now it's, man had youths and all this and was trafficking. And hold on, you didn't say all that before?
No.
So I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying my common sense tells me that is way more heinous than anything else you said. So why didn't you lead with that?
Lead with it, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Go to the lighter things at the end. Like, yeah, we're going to go for the worst stuff first. Oh, we can't get you on that, Mr. Sean Combs. No problem. We're going to get you on drugs. We're going to get you on this thing. We're going to get you on the Baby Oil thing. This is like, there's all memes about it. There's people saying, no, Diddy. Huh? But then 5 years, no, not even 5 years ago, remember, and I mentioned this before, he came to London, Mark. When was that? 2 years ago?
Right before this happened, last year, right before the conviction, right before all that came out, he was in London.
And what was happening? What was the black British artists doing, Mark?
They were loving it. All of them were loving it. Gigs, I'll say names. Gigs, ZZ. He was on ZZ and Sideman show. Gigs, all these different man. All these man when he was here loved him.
Come on.
So what you telling me then? Okay, so they loved him. They were all around him. Remember, all these allegations are out there about him killing Tupac, and everyone was still around him.
Still there.
So if you're saying that Jay-Z is guilty by association, so is everybody else.
Come on. What was Giggs doing? What was Giggs doing at the
rolling with him? Huh? Rolling on stage, videos, everything. Like real close friends. So what I'm saying is the media are lining this thing up in a way to say, you know what? The new face of these type of things, we're going to put it on you, like, you know. And our blogs and our media are all but too happy to promote this. When we promote it, all we're seeing is people happy about it.
Yeah, man. Because what does that do, Mark? That takes the attention away from the Hugh Edwards.
Exactly.
It takes the attention away from the Prince Andrews. It takes the attention away from the Gary Glitters, the Rolf Harrises, Epstein, Weinstein, all of them people, huh? What we talking about? We can go back. We can go onto the damn whatever streaming movie platform you use, and we can type in Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, and what happens? Mixed Axel Foley, aka Eddie Murphy, him did there, and where them did there and sibling? Them did there at Hefner's thing. With the gal them in the bikinis, the shaking, they're doing the thizzle wiggle sibling, and they're promoting that. Yo, it's Hugh Hefner, man. We're at the Playboy Mansion. This is the life. This is every man's dream. I'm rich man, and he's got 100 trillion what I get him, man. Huh? That's the flex, boss.
Promoted, celebrated, specials. But guess what? Not one thing. Look how many years he was doing that. Nothing's come out. Nothing's come out to say A, B, or C. This is what I'm saying.
Mark, you continue.
Yeah.
Stuff has come out, but not on the lamestream media. You know, did you know? Here's a fun fact. Siblings and listeners. Did you know that there's tunnels connecting Hugh Hefner's house?
No.
To who was that? The guy at the time, a famous flipping. Oh God, I should have the notes prepared. There's basically 3 houses, and they're all connected with underground tunnels. Sibling Tate, the one who got murdered with the Manson murders, Catherine Tate or whatever her name is, Katie Tate, whatever. That house and his house is all linked by tunnels, sibling. Okay. Laurel Canyon, siblings, listeners, do the knowledge. Just type in Laurel Canyon and look at that thing and see who was coming up at Laurel Canyon in the 60s and 70s, promoting and creating this hippie scene and the Doors, the Eagles, and all, the Beach Boys and all that there. Nothing new under the damn sun.
That's a fact.
All they're doing is changing the language of the game and saying now the black man is the devil. He always was the devil. We got this new technological means to paint this dude, to manipulate and to change the minds of everybody.
That's it. And this is what I'm saying. There's no defense for what we don't know. But what we do know is allegations are coming out that don't really have no concrete evidence to them. Like I remember when you put that stain on a man, yeah, it don't come off. Because even if the man says, yo, even if the man proves his innocence, people are gonna say, well, he's got money, so he's able to prove his innocence. There's no way of winning. There's no way to win. You know what I mean? You're guilty once accused, and they've slowly ushered this in now to where that stain is over hip hop. The hate for this man, and I get what people are saying. Like, I didn't know all that history with Dr. York and all of that. I never knew that history, but I'm saying between then and now, yeah, no matter what people want to say about business practices and stuff, yeah, which, you know, most people that are local don't know how to do business. Never mind if they were dealing with millions.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Most people, you'll have a man talking about, yeah, my man didn't pay this man or didn't pay, and you're somebody that's scamming people yourself.
Come on.
So you got to understand these things. Now,
accountability.
Exactly. It's all about accountability. For me, people are very, very invested in the demise of these people. Like, people are literally like, yeah, Beyonce and I'm like, where are you like getting this info from? Where are you, on the internet? So so what I'm saying to you, Noble, if someone makes a video saying that I've done something like that, yeah, man's gonna say I did that.
Yeah, Mark.
So my character, I won't even be able to combat these allegations. That's where a lot of men they're doing what you're doing is dangerous, because look, them lot that are in the mainstream, they're just the example. What happens when you're in the workplace,
Mark?
What happens then?
You've dropped these jewels so many times, and we're gonna reuse the jewels, man, because the jewels are forever.
That's a fact.
Remember when you was talking about that era when there was, yo, Mark, he's a Freemason, you know? You see that Rockefeller? Yo, he's on that Freemason vibe. Blood sacrifice, Illuminati. This is all flipping child business, boss. They were talking that stuff, and I'm like, you've only now just woke up to Freemasonry and lodges and Illuminati, and now we're associating it. But don't get it twisted. These people, you know, the music is like, okay, Jay-Z, Rihanna, all these big artists, hip-hop artists, Cardi B, all these people, right? Even to now, the new people who are allegedly hip-hop, they don't go to the movie set, to the video shoot and say, this is the video, this is what I want to sit in a bath that looks like blood, and I want to do this, I want stuff dripping. They don't do none of that. They just make the damn music,
puppets,
turn up at the sets, and then they make the damn movie. Oh yeah, no, we need you to do this. We need to do the rock sign this many times. No, you didn't do it right. We need you to take it again. And then the video comes out, and then studious people will then say, oh, look, they're flashing the symbols. This is a Freemasonry stance. Like, we know that the entertainment industry is satanic at best, right?
But we don't own it.
Entertaining, obviously. This is the damn point.
We don't have no marketing, none of that.
None of it.
It's them that are putting that on us. Even like you just said, I'm so glad you just said that. The DMX album cover, when he's standing there with all the blood dripping,
flesh is my flesh, blood
it's somebody in the background who's saying, yo, listen, this is how we need to do it. And what I'm saying to you is, yeah, that's how we introduce degeneracy. We introduce degeneracy. Now, look, I'm going to put a picture up. I had to screenshot this for the stream, yeah, because I want to explain to you how they are doing this, how they're doing it. So watch this now. Okay. So, all right, people, this is a comment that I personally screenshotted, and I'm going to read it. So it says, I don't even know what that says. Or whatever that says. I can't even watch. They are so dark, so evil and powerful. This does not surprise me. I believe they are the worst amongst Hollywood, period. Listen again, folks. I can't even watch. They are so dark, so evil and powerful. This does not surprise me. I believe they are the worst amongst Hollywood. Now, when she's saying they, Noble, who's she talking about?
Well, that's what I'm trying to ask you. She's talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, I take it.
That comment is on the video, which I want to play that audio in a second, of the accuser telling the story. Now, this woman's upset because the story don't make sense, and she's saying, you know, these men are they're the worst amongst Hollywood. So they've pivoted because they're trying to put the face of all that madness on The black entertainers. When the black entertainers don't have nothing, look how fast. Let's really keep this thing 1,000 right now, yeah? Look how fast Diddy fell. Look how fast he fell, Noble. In less than 12 months, a career that, and again, I gotta say this because people just don't understand. There's no defense here. I'm only speaking on facts.